think that this is the closest feeling shoe to the V1 since all the other models have come and gone. So just a couple runs done and dusted in this one. Now this is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5 and these are my first impressions. But before we get into it, a big shout out to my #1 running store, the Running Company at Geelong. I've got a link to their website in the description. Make sure you go check out that and check out all their running gear. And also guys, if you want to support this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with the specs, this one is a neutral road running shoe and marketed in that up-tempo training category. We've had a cheeky price increase here in Australia, so $300 now and $175 in the US. Now in the weight, still a really lightweight package here for a training shoe, so 8 ounces or 226 grams. Now that's in my size, that's a US 8.5. And in the stack, we've got 36 in the rear, 28 in the front, and that's going to give us a 8mm drop. And in the upper, so the material that they're using here is a engineered mesh. Now the mesh itself, really light, very airy, breathability is absolutely excellent. Now what I do want to mention about the shoe itself, it's just such a simple design of the upper, and I do wish more shoes would do that because a nice simple upper is just so effective. Really solid heel count at the back. We've got a brand new Achilles flare here on this new version, which I quite like. Medium amount of padding around the heel collar and probably that same amount of padding on the tongue, so nicely padded tongue. Gusseted tongue there, as you can see, doesn't move around left or right. Had no issues with these laces coming undone. They're just the regular Saucony laces that they use in most of their shoes. Now with our lacing system, we've got a mix of some eyelets and also these little midfoot cables. They do a pretty good job there to lock down the foot through the midfoot, no heel slippage in the back. Now in the fit, I'm going to say it's coming up a smidge short. So I have got true to size here, but I had a tiny little bit of toe butting on my run this morning, but I can still get away with true to size. So just be wary about that. If you've got a chance to try this on, just go check the length. You may want to come up half a size, but I'm saying it's like a smidge short. I do think we've got a wider toe box though in this version, which is really great to see. So lots of room there in the toe box for me, really appreciated. Step in comfort, really nice here, and build quality, I'm going to say it's pretty good as well. And in the outsole, so the rubber that they're using on the bottom of the shoe, I believe is still the XT900. So we've got a good amount of coverage here on the bottom. I think they've got it just right with how much rubber they've got. This rubber is not too thick, not too thin. Just enough, I think, to protect the bottom or this super foam that's in the shoe. Brand new tread pattern, which is good to see, but has the grip improved because its first run, I had it on a wet road. And the XT900 rubber on all previous shoes has been terrible. So it turns into an ice skate. Now, has it improved in this shoe? Well, I am sad to say that it is still terrible. So it is still an ice skate on a wet road. However, on a dry road, it is good to go. Durability wise, it's definitely too early to tell, but historically this XT900 is pretty good to go over the long haul. And in the midsole, no real surprises here, still using that Power Run PB. So that's a version of Saucony's, or one of their super foams. Now 2 layers of this Power Run PB, sandwiched between that, they've got a full length nylon plate, giving the shoe a little bit of rigidity. So same sort of setup as what they've had in all their Endorphin Speeds. However, the foam's been tweaked and the nylon plate's been tweaked. The geometry's been tweaked, so we're going to get a slightly different ride, which I'll go into later. Now rigidity wise, how stiff is the shoe? Well, in comparison to other shoes on the market, the Endorphin Speed is quite a flexible shoe, especially for a plate. Now I will notice that the flex point in this new Speed is different from the previous model. So now it's more towards the front of the shoe. The previous model of this had a flex point right in the middle of the shoe. That did cause clunkiness, I think, at those slower paces. Now geometry, that speed, roll, tech, is still in the shoe. As I said, it has been tweaked a little bit, but how does it compare to other rockers on the market? Well, it's probably at that early stage of rockers, and it's not super aggressive and it's not gentle. It's somewhere in the middle, but it's really unique, this speed roll tech, that the way that or just the way it feels in the shoe, because it's not, I think how they use it in the Endorphin Speed is certainly not like you feel in other shoes out there on the market. And in the ride, well, it is just as expected. So it's still going to deliver you a really springy, energetic, bouncy ride. Lots of fun. I will say that it is a softer ride than the previous version. It certainly feels like you've got more guts under the rear, or that certainly feels like maybe a little bit more stable through the rear, a little bit more sink, a little bit more bounce through the rear. But as you're coming through your transition and you're towing off, so the speed roll assist under, it really just drops away. So at that board joint under the big toe, that MTP joint, yeah, it really just drops away and then it flattens out, and it really just promote a really quick turnover, and you feel really propulsive once this rocker gets past its little tilt point there. So, and it really reminds me of the Endorphin Speed 1. So this ride, out of all the models that they've had, everyone loved the V1. This for me is the closest match to that shoe in the geometry department that I've felt. So hopefully that's not just a placebo effect because it's got the mutant colorway on it, but no, I'm sure it's not, because I do feel, yeah, as soon as you pass this tip point, just under that board joint of the toe, it just really falls away, it flattens out, and then you just feel really propulsive off toe off. So it really, yeah, it really promotes a really fast turnover for me. I love the feeling of that this geometry gives you in the Speed. So yeah, really unique. There's no sort of shoe out there that delivers that feedback for me. Super comfortable as well, but what I will notice in the shoe, that the arch in the shoe is really high. So I don't often, when I run in shoes, I don't often feel where the arch is, but in this shoe I certainly do feel the arch, and it feels really far back, so close to my heel. So I was a little bit worried about that, but it didn't cause me issues on the run. But that is certainly something to note for those people out there that are a little bit sensitive to a high arch in a shoe. And another noticeable improvement in the ride is that this shoe is no longer clunky at those slower paces. So jogged in this one again today, and it feels fine at the slower paces. So thankfully this shoe has got its versatility back. What I'm liking in this shoe so far is certainly the simple design of the upper. So it's just effective, and I wish more companies would just stick to this traditional style of upper. I also really love the ride. I love the tweaks in the plate and in the foam. I think it does deliver a better ride than the previous version. And I also love that the mutant colorway returns. And dislikes in the shoe is certainly, again, the use of the XT900 rubber on the bottom of the shoe, just a slippery ice skate, and also I'm not too fond of that cheeky price increase. And just wrapping up my first impressions here, well, I must say that I'm pretty impressed with my time in it so far. I think they've almost nailed it. They've just got to sort this outsole out, and yeah, this shoe would just be almost perfect. So it does really remind me of the V1, especially how it rides. I do think that this is the closest feeling shoe to the V1 since all the other models have come and gone. So well done there, Saucony. It's a typical Endorphin Speed though. It's springy, energetic. All the Speed fans are going to love it. It's going to be perfect for your workouts. It's going to be okay to jog in to do your warm-ups, your cool downs in. Very versatile trainer that does feel really responsive and fast. So yeah, not too many bad things to say about it. It's only got good signs to me. It's going to be able to handle pretty much anything that you throw at it. Good to go for your long runs as well, except if there's forecast for rain, then you better rethink your choice here. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Any questions you've got regarding the Endorphin Speed 5, just drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.